played. He came on and was a breath of fresh air in that sense, but it just wasn't enough for him. I thought Leipzig played fantastically well in terms of the way that they controlled a lot of the game. But again, quality wasn't great in the final third. Missed Timo Werner, but when push come to shove, you hit shots at goal, you're getting a chance to score, and they got a deflection. A bit lucky, a bit fortunate, but you got to buy a ticket.
Yeah, obviously a large financial backing behind them with their sponsors, but it's quite a story, isn't it? Semi-finals of the Champions League 11 years after forming his club in the French, in the German 5th division.
Yeah. It's one hell of a journey, as you mentioned. But I think one of the best pieces to the puzzle seems to be, the acquisition of Nagelsmann and what he's bringing to the table with the way they play tactically. They're enjoyable to watch, even without Timo Werner. What really surprised me today is the amount of chances, areas of the pitch they got into to create chances against Atletico today. They weren't as clinical as they probably needed to be, but they definitely deserve to win the game, and their story continues.
And there we can see they'll join PSG in that semi-final of this season's Champions League, either Barcelona or both games live and exclusive, of course, here on BT Sport. Well, Leipzig did it. I mean, it was probably not as much quality football as we saw last night, but they did play some nice stuff.
Some really nice stuff. Yeah. And what impressed me about Leipzig's team is they look like a team who are really well coached. There's a manager there you can see who's involved in every little detail of this team, because each player looks so convincing in terms of what they feel about this team, what the philosophy is from the manager, and then going out and playing it. And they all look like they all know their jobs really, really well. And it's difficult to find that in some teams. Sometimes you look at players and think, I don't know if he knows what he's doing. I don't know if he understands what the manager's telling him. Every player, even the subs that come on, they're players, they all understand their roles and they carry it out perfectly.
Well, that's something we expect from a Simeone team.
Yeah, in a different way. He's very defensive, we said conservative before the game, but this team are very expansive, they're open. I mean, the way he's got the defenders playing, driving out with the ball, committing other midfielders and then playing into the free man. I mean, it was really nice to watch. Again, we spoke about the final ball in the final third. Wasn't quite up to scratch today, but everything before that was, I thought, really impressive.
Yeah, and the goal just after half-time obviously would have given them some sort of confidence.
They didn't have that kind of marksman that they've usually had in their team.
Well, it seemed to liven up Atletico after that, didn't it? And then Felix came on, and he definitely made a difference.
Yeah, he did. And we said at half-time they're going to need a substitute to come on and influence the game for him, and he was that guy that came on. And listen, huge price. Where's he been? He's obviously had injuries. That's a given, but he's been back from injury. How he's not getting minutes? This kid looks like a real talent, and we've not been able to see that in an Atletico Madrid shirt.
Yeah, he had struggled a little bit in the season though to find his way. I mean, it's difficult. You come with that massive price tag, 100%, well over 100 million.
I'm just thinking that, like, when we watched, Upamecano against Costa today, it was just like
Costa was just not
it's like almost no point in being there. He played up against him all the time, and the minute Felix comes onto the pitch, he dropped a little bit deeper, went into areas he didn't want to be in, and you just think, it was a strange decision when you look at it like that to an extent.
Almost like when he's playing for Simeone, like we said before, you have to have a certain amount of discipline. He looks like a bit of a maverick who wants to drift into different positions to free himself up. And I don't think that fits.
Although he had Griezmann, though, who was a kind of player that could come and do it, although he was...
We used to do clips of Griezmann, though. He used to do slide tackles on the edge of his box. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't just a flair player. He bought into the grit and the compactness and determination of that side as well.
Yeah, OK, what a moment for Tyler Adams. Obviously, it was slightly fortuitous in the sense that it was defeated. Do you think, though, perhaps the fact that they weren't playing against a Barcelona or Real Madrid or a Liverpool even when we saw them in the last round, that it didn't really suit them?
Almost a lack of respect to an extent, really. I mean, they've obviously felt, we'll go out and we'll play against you because we don't feel like we need to, camp in and play counter-attacking football. It showed that they actually still did need to do that.
Well, Leipzig were playing like Atletico towards the latter stage, obviously when they got the lead, defending for their lives as you...
A lot to think about in terms of obviously the way that his style of his teams. It's not been an amazing season for him in La Liga.
Can he change that though? Do you think he can change it, or will he want to change that?
No, I don't think he will. If anything, I think he'll probably move on at some stage and try the same format somewhere else. But I don't know. Tonight's game for me it felt like the end to an extent at Atletico. Maybe not for him, but I don't know. That model just hasn't worked in the Champions League for him.
As the game moved on, from the managers that do play that very defensive, low block, You know, now you're seeing more progressive football. The Manchester City keeping
You
the
say
ball.
that though, but they beat Liverpool over 2 legs.
Yeah, but I
beaten
mean,
both
one off.
games.
But overall, they're not. You know, they didn't have such a good season. They've now gone out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can perhaps do it and find an underdog performance, but can you do? Is that going to bring you ultimately a lot of success now in the modern game, where teams play from the back and they go right the way through?
Don't get me wrong. I think there is a place for it, and there's a time to turn it on and off when you need to. But I think consistently playing that way, I think teams are finding ways to break you down now.
Yeah.
You know, you can't play that way against Manchester City, for example.
Strings to your bow.
You need a plan A and a plan B. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you can be adaptable in different formations and different styles of playing, if you can go on the front foot at times, but your main source of trying to win a game is to sit back and be compact, but you can go on the front foot, then I think that gives you more of a chance. And I don't see, especially from today's game, that Atletico Madrid have got that second style of playing.
Okay, let's take a little breather and